In the heart of northern Arizona lies a place where the earth stands still and time itself seems to pause. This is Sedona, a land of ancient canyons and majestic red rock country. Here, every rock tells a story, every canyon whispers secrets of ages long past. For the intrepid overlander, Sedona offers more than just a journey, it offers an adventure of the soul. As you traverse these rugged trails, you're not just exploring a landscape, you're forging a connection with nature's raw and untamed beauty. Come along with the OTG crew as we explore the 250-mile Sedona Backcountry Trail.
Quite safely. So, I already told some of you, but obviously, we're getting a 10 a.m. start. Maybe we'll shoot. We may just. Okay. All right. Well, you will regulate our pace then.
It is hot.
Sorry for all the noise. We had a little scare here. Sign said the gate was closed at 4 miles. Just got confirmation. It's definitely open. We can go all the way to the overlook. So good start. Little scare though, but I think everybody is stoked to be in beautiful red rock country here.
Whether or not you believe in a higher power, it's hard to deny the spiritual essence of these geological wonders formed over the millennia. If you'd like to get more information about the 250-mile-long Sedona Backcountry Trail, head on over to overlandtrailguides.com. With over 90 overland routes, Overland Trail Guide features North America's largest directory of curated overland routes. For each route, you'll find trail ratings, recommended vehicle, best time to visit, discovery points, camping recommendations, GPX files, and more. Why don't we get back to our adventure now?
So we are going up to the first discovery point here, and that is Merry-Go-Round Rock. Has a great view. Then we'll be up to the Schnebly Hill Overlook, which is absolutely amazing. I biked up this, or I biked past it, but I've actually never been to this particular overlook on the rock, so it'd be cool.
After the quick scramble up Merry-Go-Round Rock, we continued upwards to the Schnebly Hill Overlook. As the red rocks grew more distant and smaller in our rear views, we pressed on until we reached the top of the hill. A series of boulders overhang the viewpoint, creating the perfect photo op with the red rocks of Sedona as a stunning backdrop. Our small convoy of vehicles pushed ever higher up Schnebly Hill Road, eventually leaving the high desert behind and entering the pine forests that dominate the highlands. We cross under the interstate, only to be greeted with a network of rocky trails that weave through the pines. We're on a rocky little side trail here, but nothing like what we endured at the Mogollon Rim on the last day. That was brutal. This is totally fine. It's manageable. I'm not rocking side to side too bad. I did hit a stump because, well, Shasta was like trying to come in the front seat and I couldn't see, and then thunk. After working our way through the rockier sections of trail, we were greeted with a series of meadows. Eventually, we found one to our liking, and after a bit of exploration, we found the perfect site far away from any potential neighbors. Alright guys, we are camped next to an amazing meadow. I'll show it to you guys here in a second. Got our own little spot. We went over there originally. There was a bunch of other rigs, some big fifth wheels, but we're by ourselves over here. So we did the mileage that we wanted, got close to Kachina Village, and I don't know if I told you guys, but earlier Shasta was climbing in the front seat on this bumpy section, and I was trying to shoo her in the back, and I hit a freaking, not a rock, a stump with my left tire. So crazy. It might be off with the alignment a little bit. I know the steering wheel is definitely off, but it seems like it's tracking straight. Just an annoyance, something I want to get fixed before we head home, because that's like 900 miles on the interstate for me. Shasta, come here. Come here. Gotta call her over. She's going to one of the other dogs' areas.
Paul is the master fire pit mason.
Yeah. it's going to be in the exhaust side.
Yeah.
But it still don't know where. You know, you're very spoiled because I always share with you.
Getting spoiled, huh? There's little bits on there, little pork bits. Making some sliders tonight. I'm gonna take this patty and create 2 little sliders out of it. Try to make them as evenly sized as we can. Really nothing like cooking in the great outdoors like this. Got this awesome meadow over here. About to have a couple of sliders in a minute. Gonna throw some ham on there with some Monterey Jack cheese. Gonna be muy bueno. Throw those on there. Cheese on there. Some for me. Whew. No Shasta.
I-40 goes this way.
Right, so it's heading this way.
He's going that way.
Uh-oh. Slow down. All right, guys, day 2 on the Sedona Backcountry Trail. We're taking our time here. We're gonna be making our way towards the rim. I know we're gonna be going to at least one lookout, and then we might even hit Edge of the World. I can't access my itinerary right now, but I think we're going over to the Secret Mountain area, but probably gonna be launching the drone. But I think realistically, we kinda wanna hit the rim on Sunday night because Overland Expo is happening in Flagstaff. Just want those crowds to clear out because I'm sure that rim is probably gonna be packed when we head over there today. But I guess we'll find out when we go, so let's go hit it.
We hit the trail once again, but our convoy would be cut down to 3 rigs as we crossed the interstate. It ended up being a short day as we only had about 40 miles to cover. We'd make stops at East Buzzard Point and Top of the World before searching for camp.
I could hear it this morning. All right, sir.
All right.
Thanks for coming out.
Sure.
Really appreciated your company. Hope you had fun. All right, Adolfo. So we are losing Paul and Adolfo. Paul's having some issues with his alternator. Had some trouble getting his car started yesterday. So he's gonna head on home to Williams, which is, I don't know, hour and a half away or something like that. And then Adolfo always was planning to go to Grand Staircase Escalante. He's got a nice jump off point right here at the interstate. So I don't know how long he's going out on the trail for, but it sounds like weeks, so I definitely want to get an update for him. We're gonna hit the fuel station up here. A couple of the guys are gonna fuel up. I'm good because I got a 52-gallon tank, and then we're starting to get into some of the radness. All right, guys. Well, shoot, guys. I just found out that Kayvon hit the interstate too. I knew that he was gonna head out either later today or tomorrow, so I didn't get to say goodbye to him. So I'm a little bit bummed about that, but definitely enjoyed his time. He was in the big black Land Cruiser. So it looks like we definitely hit a hot spot here for people going to Expo, seeing lots of pop tops like mine, seeing another group over here, probably past 4 groups going by us, because it's right by the highway. So they're over here going to Flagstaff, but we are going the opposite way of the crowds. We're finally leaving the groups of campers behind. A lot less traffic out here. I think we're gonna make a stop at the Fernhill cabin. It's not a discovery point, but this is a cabin that you can actually reserve from the Forest Service. Maybe have a little break there, and then we'll be on our way.
Sprinkled on us a little bit one afternoon. In Utah, we done this last night.
No.
Because when it comes down, huh?
Well, it came down and we were, on dirt roads, so the truck was.
After a quick snack break, we hit the road, following Buzzard Ridge to its terminus, not knowing what quite to expect. Would the road lead to epic views, or just a dead end with nothing to show for? One thing was for certain. With the amount of deadfall and pine cones scattered across the road, this path was definitely seldom traveled. And well, that trepidation about a road leading to nothing, we couldn't have been more wrong about our premonitions. As we made the short walk from our vehicles to the viewpoint, exquisite views stretched out in front of us. The canyon walls not the usual Sedona red, but a captivating pale tan adorned with hoodoos. Pine, shrubbery, and a verdant cloak of greenery conjured the spirit of Mexico's semi-tropical Copper Canyon. The out and back journey to East Buzzard Point, absolutely worth the detour.
So we are just leaving East Buzzard viewpoint. Absolutely spectacular. Nobody up here too, which is the nice part, right? A lot of these other places along the rim, a lot of people up there. So we're gonna continue on, go to the rim, and probably hit all of the hordes of people down there. Let's go see.
So we made our way to Edge of the World, and to the surprise of no one, the place was packed with campers. Our stop would be rather brief. we'd scramble down some of the rocks Edge of the World is renowned for, while taking in the views of the Sedona Basin below us.
All right, guys, that was awesome. Very windy over there and a lot of people. Have no interest in camping around that many people. We're gonna head over to the lookout tower that is at another point kind of, and probably make some stops along the way, maybe looking for some camp. I know we're gonna have lunch, but if we can find something decent, might even throw up a chair or something like that just to kind of reserve the site for us. All right, let's keep going. Well, it's about half-mile walk to the lookout. As you can see, the gate is closed. I've got a lot of camera gear in the car, and there's a lot of activity up here right now, so I don't want to leave that stuff in here. If there was nobody up here, I'd probably go up there, but there's just way too many people up here on ATVs, motos, and all kinds of stuff. So we're gonna go look for camp early and chill. About 2 o'clock right now. Hey. This is camp. Amazing. A little bit breezy, supposed to die down when the sun sets though, but I'm gonna make myself some fajitas and enjoy the sunset with a nice Mexican Coke. All right, let's get into it. Much chicken in there, so I'm loading up on the guac. Hells yeah.
Despite the constant wind gusts, it was impossible not to be awestruck by the geological wonders before us. As we settled into camp, we marveled at the breathtaking formations sculpted by millions of years of tectonic movement and erosion. The vibrant hues of the rocks, illuminated by the setting sun, told the story of Earth's incredible history. It's these natural creations that remind us that nature doesn't require technology to entertain. Its beauty and grandeur are captivating all on their own.
Good morning. Just taking Shasta for a little walk here. Shasta the Adventure Shepsky. She slept in the cab last night. She's been very tired. She let me know that she wanted to go in, and I put her in there, and she just passed out. I think it's because she can kind of lay sideways. Her sleeping platform The camper is not as big anymore because I cut out some area so I could stand up in there. I couldn't do that when her platform was in there. But we're gonna go for the morning walk, then get into the day. I'll give you guys an update in a little bit. Come on. Let's go. Morning guys, beautiful day out here. We got a little bit of wind, but it really died down compared to last night. But let's talk about today. So originally we were just gonna go over to the Secret Mountain Trail. I opened up Gaia, it's 15 miles away, so we could be there in an hour easy. So what we're gonna actually do is we're gonna jump over to Sycamore Point. We're gonna hit Secret Mountain. There's a little lookout along the way. There's also a lookout that we're gonna hit. And there's some other stuff. I may get some water at one of the local campgrounds, and I think Scott, maybe Keith, may run into town to Williams. Scott is having some issues with his Bronco. Looks like it's related to the Jackery, blew a fuse. So he's trying to get that up and running again. So we go up pretty far north, and then it looks like Williams is like 10 miles away on a gravel road. What I may do is go ahead to Sycamore Point, secure camp. Not really sure, we'll play it by ear, but it's gonna be a fun one, and we should end up with another fantastic view. So let's go get into things today. Shasta's all riled up because branches are scratching the roof and she doesn't know what it is. But we're on our way to Bunker Hill. Since we got off, got some mud right here. Since we got off the main track, we haven't run into anybody. And in fact, I think, sorry, just getting through this slowly. I think, in fact, that we're just not gonna see a lot of people on some of the main tracks as well. Everybody's gonna clear out for the weekend. At least that's what the hope is. And then we can get a nice spot for tonight.
After a day and a half of driving on mild-mannered dirt roads, the bumpy trails of Bunker Hill were a welcome sight. The group dodged and weaved our way through the tight trails, moving low-hanging branches and trees out of the way. If you're concerned about a few pinstripes, maybe Bunker Hill isn't your cup of tea then. After the short loop around Bunker Hill, we'd head over to the Turkey Butte Fire Lookout. As we arrived at our next discovery point, we were met by a closed gate. Luckily, the hike up to Turkey Butte Fire Lookout is only about 250 yards with a relatively modest elevation gain. Unlike most other lookouts in the area, this one is still manned by a human observer and is mostly open to the public. You can actually climb the stairs up to the platform, although access to the platform itself is restricted. From this vantage point, you're treated to impressive views of the forested highlands to the south. From Turkey Butte, we'd begin making our way towards Sycamore Point with a few stops along the way. The group decided we'd check out Whitehorse Lake to see if it was a suitable lunch stop. So we're at Whitehorse Lake. They even got a snack shack here, and I think everybody else, let's have somebody else make some food for us. So we're all getting like burgers and hot dogs and stuff, and it's beautiful out here. You can see Humphrey Peak over at Flagstaff, over the lake behind us. I'll give you some shots in a second, but I'm starving, so waiting for my burger to come out. Oh yeah, perfect. So we've already burned like 55 miles today. Our potential campsite is, I'd say, less than 10 miles down the road. We're gonna go do a couple of more things. I think we're gonna check out the Sunflower Flat Wildlife Area, and then we're gonna make this short hike down to Sycamore Falls. Probably launch the drone as long as it doesn't get too windy, and then we're heading to camp. Sunflower Flat is a 160-acre marsh owned by the Game and Fish Commission of Arizona. This beautiful high-elevation wet meadow is ideal for spotting waterfowl, shorebirds, and even large game, especially in wet years. Extensive wetland restoration has made Sunflower Flat a prime spot for observing resident and migratory waterfowl, as well as birds of prey like bald eagles and osprey. Wildlife-friendly fencing enhances the chances of seeing pronghorn, elk, turkey, and deer. During warmer months, you might also encounter reptiles and amphibians such as lizards, gopher snakes, rattlesnakes, toads, and even tree frogs. From Sunflower Flat, we'd make the short drive to Sycamore Falls trailhead. Unfortunately, it looked like we'd missed the water running over the falls by just a couple of weeks. Locals claim one of the best times to visit is during the winter months, when the area is covered with a light blanket of snow. We'd continue on our journey, making our way to Sycamore Point. One of the more distant viewpoints from the Sedona Basin, Sycamore Canyon is an impressive sight to behold. The 56,000-acre wilderness is one of the gems of northern Arizona and is the second largest canyon in Sedona's Red Rock country. From Sycamore Point, we begin exploring the various side trails in search of a suitable camp for the night.
So we followed an old, unmaintained road that ends at a loop at the edge of the canyon. We just need to make sure that the guys can set up their tents here. Not as rocky as the last location, so let's find out and see. This is camp, guys. One of the fingers of Sycamore Canyon over here drops about 800 feet behind me. I'll show you it in a second. So we are gonna have a little bit of jambalaya with some andouille sausage. Just getting the water to a rolling boil right now, and then we'll throw in the jambalaya and the rice mix, and then we will get sausage going here in a second. Beautiful day right now. Well, it was supposed to take 20 to 25 minutes. It took about 35 to 40 because of all this wind. I think it was worth it.
One might think you'd get tired of views like these, but that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, Sedona's impressive canyons and red rocks have a way of rejuvenating the soul. It's easy to see how local indigenous groups like the Hopi, Tonto Apache, Yavapai, and Navajo had immense respect and an unbreakable spiritual bond with these lands. In an era dominated by technology, we could probably learn a thing or two from the original stewards of these beautiful places.
Let's hit the trail, guys. All right, guys, let's talk about today. It's gonna be a pretty big drive day, at least relative to what we did before. Not a whole lot to see. We'll probably go back over to Sycamore Point, launch the drone, get some drone shots. Then we're gonna start headed down to the Sedona Basin down there, stopping at the Perkinsville Historic Bridge along the way, Jerome Ghost Town. And then I think we're gonna do the short hike over to the Robbers Roost Cave and probably camp over there. And my buddy Ron is supposed to be rolling in town from the Bay Area, so I'm excited for him to join us as well and hit some of those trails in the Sedona Basin. But it's gonna be another good one, so let's go get into it. So we just arrived at JD Dam. It's like this restored wildlife ponds out here. It's pretty cool. I'll show you some photos, and birds are absolutely beautiful out here. Just listening to, sounds like red-winged blackbirds or something. I don't know if they're up here though. So I know when my buddy Ed did this track a couple years ago, he said there was a washout further on this road. They were able to get around it on their Jeeps, but I wonder if maybe this winter or something, that washout got worse or something like that. I do have a reroute already, so ready to do it. It does entail some pavement, but it will get us down just above the Perkinsville Bridge. So let's go. Hey guys, I just got a text from my buddy Ron, who wanted to join this trip, but he had to attend his daughter's high school graduation. He actually started heading down yesterday from Northern California, said he's 30 minutes away from the next discovery point. So he's gonna be joining us. So I'm pretty stoked to see him. I think he's gonna stay out here and do some more of the route after we head back home. But yeah, we'll meet him up at the old Perkinsville Bridge. What's up?
After meeting Ron in Perkinsville, we quickly hit the road and climbed the trail up and over the mountain. Views of Red Rock Country impressed. As we crested the pass, a massive mining operation came into view, the old Gold King Mining ghost town. And further down the mountain, we could see the numerous historic buildings associated with the old mining town of Jerome. Founded in the 1890s as a copper mine, residents of the Gold King mine struck gold by surprise. A small community named Haines cropped up around the mine, but by 1914 it was a ghost town. Today, the Gold King Mine and Ghost Town is a collection of preserved buildings and equipment, allowing visitors to step back in time and see how miners lived and worked. You can even pan for gold yourself, just like prospectors of old. On this particular visit, we opted to skip the tour and check out the gift shop instead. We followed the pavement down the mountain, winding through the narrow streets of Jerome. Founded in the 1870s as a copper boom town, Jerome boomed with miners, saloons, and even electric lights by the 1890s. The United Verde mine made Jerome a major copper producer, but by the mid-20th century, the mines dried up and Jerome became a ghost town. In recent decades, artists and adventurers rediscovered this unique place. Today, Jerome is reborn as a thriving arts community with stunning views. Nestled above the floodplains of the Verde River, Tuzigoot National Monument showcases the ingenuity of the Senegwa people who lived here between 1000 and 1400 AD. The Visitor Center displays well-preserved artifacts like pottery and tools, highlighting the resourcefulness of the Senegwa. This multi-story pueblo, built from local stone, once had over 100 rooms and 250 full-time residents at its peak. The hilltop location offered both security and a sweeping view of the fertile valley below. Walking through the ancient rooms, you get a sense of the civilization that thrived for centuries before eventually moving on. Tuzigoot stands as a testament to the enduring spirit of its people and the rich Native American history in the American Southwest. We left Tuzigoot ready to take on the various OHV trails in Sedona's Red Rock country. Rated as a 3 out of 10, Powerline Trail would be the perfect warm-up for the group. As you may have guessed, the trail follows the power lines over a series of undulating hills. While there's nothing really technical on the trail, the rocks and off-camber terrain make for a fun time on the track. Eventually, we turn off Powerline Trail and start making our way up towards Robber's Roost. Upon reaching the end of the road, an easily identifiable hiking trail leads to a large sandstone outcrop. Robber's Roost is located on the opposite side of the outcropping. Ironically, there's no historical evidence to support that the cliff dwelling was ever used by outlaws, but the name Robber's Roost is evocative and is stuck after all these years. We left Robber's Roost, taking in the spectacular views of Red Rock country from all around us. The goal was to get to camp early, but any such plans would quickly be derailed by the trail gods.
Just hit a rock on the sidewall, heard it pop right away, and I could see it hiding in the bushes over there. Oh well, stuff happens. All right, pretty sure this is the rock right here. Probably caught me there, right on the sidewall.
What should have been a quick 10-minute tire swap turned into a rather frustrating 90-minute ordeal. First, we tried Scott's ARB long jack that ended up failing on the spot. We need to roll the truck down the hill as a large rock was impeding access to the front axle. We ended up going through 4 jacks, but Keith's bottle jack was able to fit in the limited space and jack the wheel high enough off the ground for us to switch the tire out. Now, I'm not a fan of high jacks, but I guess it's time to pull it back out of the garage. Finally back on the trail, the group was relieved that numerous dispersed camping areas were right down the road. We checked out 4 different camping areas, ultimately settling on the Greasy Spoon. Unbeknownst to the group, we'd be greeted with a surprise from above the following morning.
Pretty cool to wake up. I peeked my head out the window this morning and I could see the hot air balloons launching and started hearing that noise. I was watching some NBA clips because it's NBA playoffs right now because we have an internet connection here. And I thought it was somebody's diesel heater, but it wasn't the full, it was intermittent, you know. Then I realized I get outside, there's a hot air balloon like 300 yards away. And it's coming at us, right? And you guys saw that video. So that was pretty cool. Landed in the parking lot over here. I don't know, that's an awesome treat. I think it's an omen for a good day. So we're gonna start getting ready. We got some awesome trails to hit today. Might get out on do some hikes. It's gonna be a little bit warm, so we'll kind of play that by ear, but either way, I'm sure it's gonna be fantastic. So let's go get into it.
We'd kick off the day with the twists, turns, and bumps along Outlaw Trail. This moderate trail features numerous rock gardens and small rock ledges to keep things interesting.
Should be good now. You got it.
bounce along on the trail that would eventually bring us to the Honanki Native American Heritage Site.
So we've entered under the tree cover that's at the base of these Navajo sandstone cliffs, and it's like 10 degrees cooler over here. It's really cool. You can tell, but yeah, I can see where they carved out the sandstone. We're getting close. This is awesome, guys.
The Honanki Ruins is one of the largest cliff dwellings in Sedona's Red Rock country. Like Tuzigoot, it was also inhabited by the Senegwa, ancestors of the Hopi people between 1150 and 1350 AD. The name Honanki translates to bear house in Hopi. The site features a number of well-preserved cliff dwellings and rock art. Visitors can explore the site on their own via a self-guided interpretive trail or take a guided tour to learn more about the history and significance of Honanki. We begrudgingly left the cool shaded alcove of Honanki and began working our way towards Dry Creek Road. But first, we make a quick stop at Red Canyon Overlook, which has fantastic views of the surrounding canyonlands. Dry Creek Road marks the end of the main route. We bounce along in 4 low, eventually making it to the popular Van Daren cabin. Despite the fact that Dry Creek signifies the end of the main route, the final discovery point can only be reached by taking Broken Arrow Trail, one of the alternative routes for the Sedona Backcountry Trail. Built in the 1920s by a local character named Bill Fredericks, known for his well-regarded whiskey, the land for the Van Daren cabin eventually came into the hands of Earl Van Daren. The cabin itself is a charming combination of two structures, a north cabin originally built in Sterling Canyon and a south cabin constructed specifically for Earl's honeymoon. After tackling Dry Creek Road, we'd hit the pavement for a short stretch before jumping back onto the dirt at Broken Arrow Trail. Our goal? Chicken Corners, the final discovery point of the Sedona Backcountry Trail.
Just made it on Broken Arrow, last trail of the trip. Let's keep Big Blue in one piece here so we can get to camp, have some fun along the way. All right, let's do it.
Rated a solid 5 out of 10, Broken Arrow is one of Sedona's best-known off-road trails, and for good reason. The track weaves in and out of junipers, features multiple rock gardens and slick rock sections, and then there's the famed Devil's Staircase, a white-knuckle descent down a series of rock steps. We reached Chicken Point, celebrated our accomplishment while taking in the amazing views that surrounded us. Till next time, Godspeed.